So what is up, guys? Nick here, helping you to master your technology. Why the iPhone SE is still a good buy. Now, reason number one is a pretty obvious one, but it is the price of the iPhone SE. So if we go to Amazon right now, you can see that this thing is really low, and it keeps going lower as time goes on. But one thing that doesn't keep going lower that I've been paying attention to and trying to keep an eye on is the performance for the SE. This phone feels very good, and here on iOS 13, it's going to get even better. Now, this phone is not a phone that is going to be for people who already have moved past this era of devices, but for somebody who wants iOS 13 on the low, they want a cheap iPhone, the iPhone SE is going to be the pick that I would say go with to try it out for the cheap. Aside phone, this phone still runs good, and it's a very unique experience here in 2019 because everything is just so large by comparison to the iPhone SE. So the first reason, definitely the price. The price is just incredible for the SE. Okay, so the next major reason to buy the iPhone SE is going to be iOS 13. Now, why do I say this? And for a couple of reasons. Number one, this phone's from 2016 and it has 2015 internals, yet you're on the very latest software in iOS 13, which is excellent because you don't have to pay $1,000 for a new iPhone to get this. Number two, this iPhone is going to bring a feature that was the key separating feature years ago on the iPhone 6s and 3D Touch. Yes, it doesn't have vibration because it doesn't actually have that haptic feedback in the phone like you had on the iPhone 6s, for example. But here in 2019, the SE is getting a feature that used to be a key separator between 6s, 6s Plus, any phone above the SE. So this phone is getting better. It's not getting worse. Even though it's an older device, it's getting better. In addition to that, the phone still feels very smooth on the day-to-day, and it's pretty shocking. I mean, how many phones do you know from 2015 internals, 2016, that are not an iPhone SE that run as good as an iPhone SE? I don't think there's many. So iOS 13 also gets faster animation, so the speed of opening applications is going to look faster when you do open it up. And iOS 13 is really just going to take this to the next level on the iPhone SE. So at this price point, it's going to be the funnest, cheapest way to try out 13. Okay, so you can see the iPhone SE next to the XS Max. It's not even comparable. The Sony Xperia 1, this phone right here is the only other unique device I have felt in a while for being so tall. The iPhone SE is on the other end of the spectrum in being so small. So definitely has a unique feel in 2019 if you've been used to upgrading to the larger devices. So still, I like this as a side pocket phone, just a very good side carry. Not your main device, but a good side carry, especially running iOS 13. The next reason why I don't consider this a bad buy and actually a pretty decent buy is because people will still buy this phone if you go to sell it. And lastly, Touch ID. Slow down, let me make my case before you come at me with that Face ID stuff. I know Face ID is amazing, I've gotten used to it, I like it as well. But Apple is still launching products with Touch ID. MacBook Air, Touch ID. MacBook Pro, Touch ID. iPad Mini 5, Touch ID. Touch ID is a reason that the SE is still a pretty good option. Now let me end this video by saying the iPhone SE is definitely not a perfect phone. The screen resolution is very low compared to a lot of premium phones. The cameras are not the best out there. They're still pretty good though. I'm not even gonna lie to you. They're pretty good cameras. They're not amazing, but they're good cameras. And the phone has some pretty horrible battery life compared to when the thing was new. It still has a headphone jack though, but that speaker from the external is just terrible. No water resistance, no wireless charging. So there's a lot of things missing that you get on newer iPhones, but still, the core experience is very nostalgic. It still runs iOS 13 very well. And I felt the need to make this video because when I was using this phone on iOS 13, I was using it last week for a while. It was just super fun to use. And because iPad is still out and still has a home button and a square screen like this doesn't really feel super outdated, to be quite honest with you. If you guys found this video helpful, entertaining, informing, do me a favor, click that like button for me. If you're new here, consider subscribing for more. Nick here, helping you to master your technology. Thank you very much for watching. Be sure to be well, have a great one, and peace.